Welcome to this week's Yep, Yeah, Yes with Tamika and Marissa. I'm Marissa. That's Tamika. And it is El Año Nuevo. Happy New Year's and Happy New Year to you, my dear friend.
Happy New Year.
How you doing, girl? How's your cough?
I mean, I still have it, but it's you know, I'll probably
Oh,
cough a little bit.
I want to make note about your shirt. What does the bottom half say? Do not disturb me. I'm watching Friends. and Friends and matching Friends.
I'm wearing pajamas.
I love that. That was a great gift.
Yeah, my uncle Eric gave it to me. He's like perfect because he's the one that gives me all my Lucy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and he got the Friends outfit. He got me these thermal socks that
Yeah.
have they're like medicine built into them, filtered into the socks.
Oh,
So, because I got bad legs, so you
yeah.
put them up over your knees, and it therapeutes your knees. Plus, he got me a couple of knee braces. Like he's hooking me up because I guess when I come home from work, I'm like limping,
He's looking at you like, oh, she had a rough day.
right? And plus, my mother she bought me a I don't therapeutic. Is that how you say it?
Maybe, yeah.
Therapeutic, the foam mattress pad.
Yeah.
So it has made a difference because I'm no longer getting out of bed, but like hunched over.
Like,
Like, I'm actually sleeping comfortably. I like, the first night, it was fucked up because I'm like, I couldn't sleep all night because I was sleeping so comfortable. I'm like I'm like, I kept waking up, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is comfy." It's so stupid. But now I'm, like, sleeping, a good through the night, and I'm comfy, I'm warm, got a new blanket. It's just, you know,
look at you.
like a PS5, bitch got pajamas and a blanket and some slippers. Oh, I'll do like Wendy Williams shoe cam,
Shoe cam.
slippers.
Those are slippers. Those look so comfortable. They're slide-ins. Oh my gosh, they look very comfortable.
Yeah.
I
Next
have
week, I'll show you my other slippers. Every week I'll do a shoe cam with you.
shoe cam. It's so funny because it's like, okay, so we're the title of the show is Walking into 2021 with a Plan or No Plan. And it made me think of you and me. So, of the two of us, would you agree that you're the planner?
Yes.
And would you agree that I am not a planner?
Yes.
Okay.
No, no, no. You're a planner when there's nobody when you're making plans with somebody else who's not a planner.
Oh,
Because I've
yeah.
seen you plan. I'm like, really, bitch? So you do know how to plan, but you're doing it when other people say, I'm not planning. So figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it
Oh,
out.
maybe.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
And then I don't hang out with them no more. So, okay, so here's the thing. So, I was looking at my social medias on the 1st of January, and I follow Jen Akin, who is the creator of the Way hair products, which I like. She has a curly hair spray and this leave-in conditioner spray that I like. I kind of like. So she was showing on her social media that she has a plan for 2021, and it was like I screenshotted it to get ideas of.
Oh, you should have
uh,
sent it to me so I could have uploaded it on the show.
This is why one of us plans and the other one doesn't plan.
Here we go. This is an example.
This is a perfect example. It's 2021 intentions, and it's 6 months will be, do, have, 12 months be, do, have.
Yeah, I can't see
No,
that.
you can't see none of this. This is it's just
If only there was a way where you could have sent it to me and I could have uploaded it on our screen next year.
next year. You know what? I'm gonna get this right one day. And then 2021 intentions. I want to quit. I want to learn. I want to try. I want to have. I want to start. I want to continue to. I'm going to stop. I want to be. And then she has personal health, career, home, spirituality. And I was like, oh wow, okay. She's okay. I like it. And then I was like, you and I have worked in the same company multiple times.
Right.
And in sales, they're always just like, what's your plan? You have to have a plan of attack. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, and they're always like, make a plan. And I'm like, okay. Like, obviously you have to jot things down because it's always like, in like our business development meetings or like our monthly meetings, sales meetings, where, you literally, they're like, okay, do it now and come back to the table and tell everybody what you did. I could never do that. I could never focus on um like, okay, I want to take these 3 accounts, I want to do this. But then when people do it to like the personal stuff, like that's a lot of self-reflection, but in multiple ways. There's negative and positive, right? Because you're like, okay, what worked? What really did work? What didn't? Like, I gotta here focus on things that didn't work for me or what I don't like about myself and things like that. And I looked at it and I closed my social media and I started like organizing and cleaning up some stuff in the house because that's what I do when I get anxiety. Um, and it made me wonder, because you're a planner. Do you do things like this?
I get like I'm a planner. I don't know, like it's something I never really thought about. Like I get anxiety um planning because I want it to be perfect. And so I don't like to plan because of that anxiety. Because I like to know what the fuck I'm doing when I'm doing it. I need to know 10 steps ahead.
Yeah,
And that gives me anxiety, but I do it anyway because not knowing also gives me
is
anxiety.
worse.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
that's the worst
yeah,
anxiety.
that's the worst
Yeah,
anxiety. So whether it's like a job or a life, vacation, whatever,
yeah,
um, I feel the need to plan, but at the same time, I hate it. I don't like planning. You know what I mean? And
hmm,
I don't like to be asked about my plans. For example, so my boss asked me if I was interested in a promotion, which is weird because that's never happened to me before. In all my years on earth, none of my bosses have ever asked me, "Are you interested in promotion? Because I think you would be good at this job." And so I was like, "Okay, sure." And
yeah.
so he's like in the midst of he's like a mini interview. Tell me your 5-year plan, 5-year goals. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm just like, I'm
Uh,
I really didn't know because I didn't really give it much thought. I have resigned myself to this is my life. And you know,
did you say that?
no, 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 no. But in my mind, I'm like, I've already like beginning of last year, I was like, this is it. This is like, there's nothing else for me to do. Like I don't, in terms of like work and life, like I gave up on trying to have a child. If I get married or find a partner, it's not going to be because I was like out there like shaking my ass at a club. I'm not saying I'm not going to put myself out there and be open to receiving. But with relationships, I don't have a plan in terms of like trying to find someone. And then when it comes to work, I'm just like, I'm tired of trying to please people and failing, and I'm done. And so when he came to me, I'm like, okay, 5-year plan. I just want to learn more. I want to grow. Like you just use the key words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in actuality, it's like I really don't know because I never really gave it any thought. But if I sat down, if he said, I need you to make a PowerPoint presentation of your 5-year goals, I'd be annoyed, but I'd do it and it'd be amazing.
Oh, for sure, it'd be amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm at that stage now in my life where I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm a planner, but I don't like being a planner.
Okay.
And everybody keeps telling me I should, like my dad, he was like, plan our vacation. And I'm like, I need a little bit of something here. Like, where do you want to go? At least start with that. Like I need help.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the part of being a planner that I don't like. It's like it's all on you. Figure it out. Like, no, I don't
So
want to.
so in fairness, I am not a planner. And I know my laissez-faire attitude is extremely annoying to people who plan. I'm just very like, go with the wind. Yes, you're pointing to yourself. Go with the wind. Listen, I'm here for the good time. I show up. You tell me when, tell me where. I'm probably
Tell them,
leave
tell
there
them
like,
about our trip.
which one?
Though, where did we go? Argentina.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Okay, but let me backtrack. So my
Okay.
mom owned owned when my mother was alive, she owned her own travel agency in the British Virgin Islands in Tortola, named Travel Consultants. Before that, she worked for British Airways. I've never, when it came to like planning a trip and things like that, listen, my mom would just take me to the airport. That's it. So when I became an adult, pseudo adult, like 18, 19, 20, it was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna just show up at the airport, no big deal, right? It'll get sorted. So American Airlines did this amazing promotion where you buy two tickets, you get a third free anywhere that they travel. You happen to do that. I think you did two Miami trips, I
We
believe.
did one to California, which we went to together, and
Yes. And
one of my Miami solo trips.
yes. So you were like, listen, I'm booking the most expensive shit ever. You riding? And I'm like, I'm riding. So you're like, we're going to Argentina. These are the dates, whatever. And I was like, bet. We get in the car and you're like, where's your ticket? I'm like, oh, I don't have one.
No, we didn't get in the car together. You,
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. Days
I
before
was
you're like,
there.
hey, so you sorted everything out with your ticket. I was like, yeah, call my mom. She got it. Don't worry about it. I meet you at the airport and we're in line to check in and you're like,
It's stupid, by the way. But I don't know why we didn't just go in together. I'm not sure how that worked out. That I was there online.
I don't know. So we're in line and you're like, where's your like information? Where's your stuff? I was like, here's my passport. And you're like, no, but like your ticket. I was like,
Let me just pause real quick for a part that you like you made, because I told you, but I got to the airport before you and I'm standing online. And I'm like,
uh-huh.
this bitch is gonna make me go to Argentina by myself. She's not here.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine the planner in me. Right,
Ah,
so go
in
ahead.
line. So I'm like, I'll be fine. I called my mom. We're good. And you're like, what are you gonna do if like you can't get on the flight? I was like, I'll meet you there. Don't worry, I'll get there. And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, we're good. And you're like, on the outside, you're like stoic, but on the inside, I could tell
I
like
was
you're
panicking.
profusely sweating. You're having a panic attack. You're like, I'm about to go to another effing country where I don't speak the goddamn language, and you're fucking right. So
Let's
we
get
get
this.
there, and the woman's like, tick, 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 tick. Oh, I don't see you on here. And I'm like, hmm. Tick, 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 tick. Uh, and did I call my mom when we were at the ticket
I,
counter?
I think so. Because
And
this is before like you could print your ticket online and like you had to go to the ticket
yeah,
desk and they
right.
do all that and hand you your ticket. It's all before the gate, just going right to the gate.
So we're at the ticket counter because she's like, well, let me deal with her first while you sort things out. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, remember Argentina? She's like, oh, yeah. I was like, I'm at the airport right now. She's like, give me 1 second. And I hear my mom, tick, 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 tick. And she's like, see if it works now. I was like, all right, I'll call you back if it didn't work. I'll call you back either way, but let me sort this out. And I was like, oh, she thinks she found something. So they're like, oh, there's something here. And they're like, so it wasn't like it was a ticket, but like it wasn't like a real ticket. It was kind of like a standby. And then there was a note from her agent, from her representative, because she's a ticket agent. So it was like from American Airlines, it was like, get this bitch on the flight. This bitch sells a lot of my shit, basically, right? So she hands me a ticket and I look at you and you're like, and I'm like, see, I told you I was going. You're like, you bitch, I don't trust it until you're on the seat and the door closes and went in the air. And I'm like, we'll be good. We get through and it's kind of like, and you're like, still a little bit. The door closes. We're not even sitting together. The door closes. And you're like, you're just fucking lucky that I just went through all this like emotional turmoil.
And I'm
Because
I'm on the I'm on the plane Giulianiing it, farting away, expelling, and they silent and deadly. The person
because
next to
you
me is
were
like,
so like, yeah. But see, that's what you get when you get me. When I'm telling you I don't plan, it's like I showed up at the airport, whether I was getting on the flight with you or later on or the next day. I knew I was getting to Argentina. I just like, listen, everything else will unfold. So I say all this to say, here I am. I was just about to say a
have the
28-year
flag
old.
now.
I was about to say, here I am as a 28-year. I still don't even plan my age. And I still don't have a plan for my life. So what I do every New Year's Day, and I've done this my whole life. Whenever I've um the only thing I've ever really given thought of is like career. And I think you and I have had conversations about this before. I always type in 2021 horoscope. Not that I believe in all of them, but maybe, I don't know. I like to read them. And I always bypass money, this, that, and the other, and I always go to career. And this year I went to do that, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to know. This is the year of like, I'm really just not even thinking about it, not even planning it. And I know I never really plan anyway. And I know that I kind of like just go with the wind as it is anyway, which is extremely frustrating to other people. So, but
When it relates to when it directly affects them.
well, here's the thing though. So I seem to surround myself with people that are planners. So you're a planner. Lieutenant Colonel Awesome is a planner. He and I were talking the other day, and he was just like, I'm not sure about you, but I know my paychecks for the next 6 months. I'm 3 months out, and then it just repeats itself. So I'm planned out, and I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I'm like, wow,
I already have my paychecks for this month, and it'd be the first paycheck of next month earmarked.
huh?
Like I already know how much I assume. Like I have two part-time jobs, so
Hmm.
I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. It's always fluctuates,
Right,
but I know the minimum that I'm always going to get.
right, right,
So
right,
I plan that out already, and I know how much I can spend on bullshit. How much I'm going to spend on gas this week.
right.
It and it's easy for me to live that way because if I don't, I I I just know what it's like, and I've been there. I was there a couple weeks ago where it's like I got $5, and I don't like that feeling.
Yeah,
I don't like the unknown. I don't like feeling like trapped or like I gotta ask somebody for something.
right.
You plan it, then you good. If you plan the restaurant you're gonna go to, then you know how much the meals are gonna cost. What?
I just, you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that sort of personality. I appreciate that sort of mental fortitude. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a deep-seated issue as to why I don't do that. I don't know if there's like some childhood trauma that I'm dealing with because of it. Because Lieutenant Colonel Awesome is a super planner. Um, I don't know. My mom was a planner, but also wasn't. But she was a planner.
Right.
Bitch always had an idea. You know, she always had like, all right, a backup. She always had something cooking. And I think my dad was a planner too. I think. I don't know. I really can't like attest to his um that sort of part of him. He died when I was 20, so I'm not quite sure. But
It's
like
crazy because you've always had planners, but
always,
you're not a planner. And you would
because I
write in those
plan
planners too.
because I'm trying to. What'd you say?
You would
Do I?
write in those planners too, but then it would like
Nah,
by February you'd be like,
nah. I just threw away 3 planners that literally had
They
just January written in it.
oh, yeah, okay. See what I'm saying? It's like, yeah.
I want to be a planner. I want to be like all like, like organized and stuff, but I'm like, it just doesn't work for me. And I was thinking like, um, I I don't believe I've missed out on opportunity for my lack of planning. I don't think I've afforded myself extra opportunity for lack of planning. I just think I've avoided gray hair
As long as
and
you surround yourself with people that are opposite of you in certain aspects of your life, you should be okay.
well, this is exactly what I'm talking about when walking into 2021 with a plan or no plan or whatever. Here's the thing, here's the trick, because everybody's always like, oh, I have a cousin who swears that, like, if the wind blows and I feel like following it, I follow it, which she's not wrong. But here is the safety net that people haven't realized. I've surrounded myself with people and things that are extremely knowledgeable, thought out people, and anything that I've ever every any endeavor that because I've changed industries 1,000 times. Somebody has a working knowledge of it, and I'll just be like, "Oh." Tamika knows. Let me ask Tamika. Have you ever heard of X, Y, and Z? And you're like, oh yeah, such and such, my cousin, my this, my that. I remember when, oh, the X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, hmm, okay, thanks. And then like our 5 minute conversation, if I walked into like a job interview or walked into something, I'd be like, oh, I have these 3 questions. And it's always like, wow, she really did her research. No, she did not.
See,
She
that's what pisses me off. Because I feel like I put in work and like I remember I my latest resume, you're like, oh, run me that copy real quick. I'm like, no, bitch. No,
I
I
know,
haven't done this. I
I
don't
know.
think I still haven't given it to you. I'm like, this took a lot of effort. Like
Do
you
you
cannot
know
just get this very easily like that. It doesn't work that way.
I've been working since I was 16, right? So I you have to do resumes in high school and St. John's. So resumes for 24 years, 25 years,
Whatever.
however,
Okay.
whatever. I my last resume is one that I did completely on my own.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's good.
Well,
No,
common
that's how it should be. Like, there's nothing that irks me more. No, there are a lot of things that irk me, but like I had a job and I did a PowerPoint presentation. My boss
and
at the
somebody
time was
saw
like,
it.
"Can you see me? Can I see that?" The bitch gets promoted with my presentation, and I left the company because they didn't promote me. It's just like so. It's like one of those things where I like to plan, I like to organize, I like to do all those things, but I like to do it when I know it's going to benefit me, but it doesn't always benefit me.
Right.
Or I don't like to do it at all because of the stress of it.
Yeah.
No, and so when I come into 2021, I have no plan.
Yep.
I have no it doesn't say that I'm not going to plan something down the road,
Hmm.
but I have no resolution, no nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what did your cousin say? Where the wind blows, that's where I go.
Yeah. So
That's
this
how
is this is okay, okay, okay. So Tamika A. Blair, are you up for a slight challenge then?
I don't know.
Would you live the way I live with no
No,
plan?
no, no,
No plan, homie. You can't
no,
look at the menu
no,
pre-order,
no,
pre-select.
no.
You're not even gonna entertain the thought.
No. You and I have different lives. We live a different lifestyle. We have a different commitments. I'm not gonna live the way you live. I can't afford to live the way you live. I'm not talking about financially.
I'm
Oh,
not reckless.
man, my thing just are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. My screen just switched. Okay.
No.
Um,
I'm not reckless though.
no, I don't think you're reckless. I think that your commitments are in life do not mirror mine. And
Oh
so if
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah, yeah,
ability
yeah.
to not plan certain things, it's okay because you have somebody that can do the planning. You know, if you can't do something, somebody else will pick up the slack. Or you also have commitments where somebody won't pick up the slack that I'm just not trying to mirror. I'm not trying to go to a restaurant and no, I don't mind going to a restaurant and not knowing the pricing. I've done that before. You get a menu
Or
like
the menu, or look at the menu.
right, like I
Right.
have no problem with that. But there's certain things that you do where it's like there's a reason why we're recording today. Okay.
Because you decided to change the day
When did you tell me the topic?
an hour before the show.
45 minutes before the show. When I was still in bed thinking that you just was like, never mind. And then bitch was like, I'm ready. I'm like, bitch, I didn't even take a shower yet. No, we do this tomorrow. So anyway,
Listen,
what did you, so you're, are you, what about you? Would you be willing to take on some of the things that the planning that I do?
like what? I just almost choked.
Yeah,
Like what?
exactly. Exactly.
No, no,
You
tell me
can't,
like what?
you can't even commit to like what? You're like,
Like what?
I'm just saying, being a planner, plan something.
Um,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Moving
I,
on.
I can't, okay, moving along.
So I found this thing,
Hmm.
um, in the vein of like it's not so much planning but it is planning. It's so much wait, where is it? I want to share my screen. Where the heck? So these are some of the things that I found. I want to give a shout out to Pat on Facebook. She's one of my Facebook friends, family friend. So she posted this, and it was like, I don't know if she came up with it or something else, but it's basically um, ways for 2021 to ensure that you are not behind in financially and that you're progressing in life, I would say. So we don't have to, we can just like kind of talk about some of these things because I know that you have some background in housing and things like that. So she said that it's best to buy a house and get a 15-year fixed mortgage rather than a 30-year mortgage. If you get a 30-year mortgage, verify that there is no prepayment penalty, and this gives you the flexibility of paying it off early if you are able. What do you think about that?
So there's two things. So you have to first qualify for a 15-year fix for your payments and
Well, okay, yeah,
your
those are
financials.
things, but
Should you qualify? Absolutely a 15-year. But not everyone does qualify. So in the 30-year, your plan should always to make two additional payments a year. And the way you get around these two additional payments a year is number one, you take your principal interest without your taxes and insurance. You divide that over 12 months. That usually comes out to about 100 and something dollars. That's what you add to your principal payment every month for your mortgage. When you get your tax returns, depending on how you do your taxes, some people like to be at a zero where you don't pay anything, you don't get anything back. But some people get their a tax refund. When you get that tax refund, you do another payment to your mortgage. That shaves off that you're actually by doing two extra payments to principal because your loan reamortizes, meaning that your payment changes. If you continue to pay the same amount with those two extra payments, you could actually lower your mortgage under a 15-year payment. So I agree and I don't agree, but yes, absolutely.
okay. And then she talked about HSA versus FSA.
Hmm.
And that comes down, like, if you guys don't know, it's basically the healthcare spending account or flexible spending account when you get your health insurance. And she's basically saying that you should always, when you're choosing your health care plan, it should be the high deductible one. And that way, when you're doing your taxes and your tax bracket and stuff like that, um, you're able to write off more. I've never gotten an HSA. I've always gotten an FSA,
Hmm.
but only when I worked in like full time. When you're getting the Affordable Care Act, it's not really offered. So, but it's something to think about when you're doing your insurance too. I know a lot of people that don't even get either one, which
Yeah.
makes no sense to me. I don't like, why wouldn't you get that to pay for your extra prescriptions or anything medical? It can be anything like a humidifier. It can be,
Band-aids, aspirin.
right, all of that stuff. So if you're not already contributing, or if you, I guess by now you've already selected your healthcare plan, but it's definitely
Well,
something to think about.
one of the things I think that I don't know if we glossed over that people don't realize when she writes here that it lowers your tax bracket, what that means is your taxable income. It's a deduction. So it changes your taxable income.
Right,
So you might have been at the lower end of the higher tax bracket. Now you might be at the higher end of the lower tax bracket. And that's something that you really need to think about because, a lot of people fall into that. You're at the lower end of the income earnings for the higher tax bracket, and
right,
any something like that could really help, and that's a huge savings that a lot of people don't realize.
right. And then the car thing, um, don't buy a brand new car, buy used cars.
Hmm.
Which I the car before this last one was brand new.
Yeah.
But it was my first car. I'm like, whatever. And I ran that shit 17 years. So
Yeah.
I have no qualm. If you plan on driving your car all the time,
Yeah.
like I do, then get a used car. My current car is a used car and great mileage and what have you. And she's right. The value decreases the minute
Hmm.
you get that car off the lot.
Well, one of the rules of thumbs that people have in my mortgage life, one of the rules of thumbs is you only buy a new car should you not have any other um payments that need to go out. So if you have credit cards, you don't buy new. If you have medical bills and recurring medical bills, you never buy new.
Right. So she said that everyone should get an LLC, which I never really thought about. I mean, I gave it some thought, but I never, actually did it. But she said that then you can, one of the things you can do is hire your children and pay them an annual salary up to 12,400, which serves as a tax break for you and lowers your year's liability. At that point, your children can use their earnings to pay for things like their tuition, school trips, and any other activity or upkeep that you were originally going to be financially responsible for, so their needs are met. You're assisting them in establishing a good work ethic, but more importantly, you're decreasing your taxes and keeping more of your earnings in house.
I never thought to do that.
That's, like, I was like, okay, that
They
makes
always
sense.
remember how they always talked about that in dental, or how dentists usually they always hire their children, but they
Yeah,
make their kids like the lab when they have certain things, so they pay their kids and stuff like that. So this is, I didn't realize this, where you could, like, I guess their allowance.
right.
If I don't believe in allowance, but this is
But you could just
definitely something.
put the money in savings. They don't have to.
Exactly. This is, yeah, this is something to think about because you're giving them money anyway.
You should
Um,
you should discuss that with your boo.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
definitely
that's
on.
something that you guys can
I'll
discuss.
plan on it.
Um, it continues to talk about um,
Get a business bank account. Good.
yeah, $500 to start, which is true. There's a
Yeah.
lot of the stimulus checks and whatever. Obviously, this was created before we all got our huge $600 check, which I haven't gotten yet, but
Yeah.
um, go to a community college first,
First.
transfer into a 4-year college
Hmm.
as a junior. School is a power move. You must be able to secure the bag. Majors in STEM will always be needed and are in high demand, and the skills can directly help the community.
Well, I have two things to say about that. So not everyone wants to do that. I get that.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, I don't think this is like you must do.
no, no, no. But here's the thing though. So if you're gonna stay in state, like New York State has really good SUNY and CUNY schools. So if you go from a community college to, let's say, Stony Brook um, University, or let's say SUNY Buffalo was actually a really good school. You get, they take all of your credits because it's SUNY to SUNY, State University of New York, and you get a transfer scholarship. And it's not as competitive going for, as a freshman. Going in as a junior, your rate of acceptance will be a lot higher than as a freshman.
Okay, good to know. And STEM seems to be the way to go these days. Back when we were younger, it was basically tech,
Yeah.
but everything changes or evolves, I should say. Get life insurance for you, whole life, and your children term as soon as they are born. The sooner you get it, the cheaper it is, and you can borrow against it. Unfortunately, I can't see the top of that, but can you see it?
You can borrow it against it to fund certain projects. Also, the ones that pay out dividends are the best. They normally are associated with markets, money market accounts. IULs are great. Um, can I talk about that, or you want to talk about it first?
No, I mean, I just say that my mother, she didn't get it for me at birth, but she did get it for me when I was like in my 20s or something, like early 20s, something like that. And I have borrowed against it. I have, but I don't have to pay it back because it's that type of insurance policy. And it has helped me tremendously with bills. It has helped me with my hearing aids. It has helped me in ways that I didn't think I could help. And, my mom, she wasn't able to set up a college fund for me, but I did have a scholarship. But for her
Mhm.
to do this and pay the $20 or so a month, and for the fact that like in my 30s and 40s, I was able to use that money,
Yeah.
debt and like I said, expenses really was monumental in helping me.
So I've had this debate with Lieutenant Colonel Awesome. He's a term guy. I'm a whole lady, right? So
You're a
term is
whole
whole.
lady.
I'm a
Hey,
whole lady.
lady.
So term life insurance means for 10 years or 5 years, let's say, you pay $35 a month. And in that term, that 5 year term, your insurance is about, it could be $1 million, let's say. There's other factors that go into like that monthly payment. In whole, it's for your whole life. but you're paying it and it has a cash value. So here's the thing though. So I'm a whole lady. I'm a whole lady.
Yeah. Oh,
When I
right.
was, when I was pregnant with my first children's, I did a whole life insurance and obviously I'm still paying it. It's very high. But here's the thing that people didn't realize: when these kids finish college and maybe a year after, they're each going to be able to get a payout that I don't have to pay back, that they will be able to either hopefully we don't have student loans. Maybe they'll have to buy a house. Maybe they want to get married. Maybe they want to start a business. That's a nice chunk of change that not everybody has access to at that young age, that they'll be able to get access to. I also did whole life insurances for them, and I don't pay much on it, but again, by the time that they're at that certain age, 24, 25, the cash value is going to be a lot bigger than the policy that I bought. And when I hand it over to them, they're going to have a nice chunk of change that they can borrow against, that they don't have to pay back. But not only that, they're set up in a certain way that you wouldn't have when it comes to term.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. If you don't have life insurance, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Like, if you are relying on a GoFundMe, I mean, I ain't gonna front. I had a GoFundMe. It wasn't called GoFundMe back then, and it helped me tremendously.
Hmm.
But it also, for me, psychologically, it was like I felt pathetic. You know, it doesn't feel good, and hopefully I never have to do that again. 'Cause I felt really, my dog chewed up my hearing aid. I was like desperate.
Yeah, it
Um,
was a tough time.
um,
And by the way, FYI, people listening, apparently hearing aids are not covered under medical.
Correct.
So that's like
Unless
three, four
some
thousand dollars
most
each.
insurance companies, not there are
Most
some that
insurance.
I think if you're in the military and if you are law enforcement, you probably can get them. But that's about it. That's pretty much where it's limited. The next thing, which get the people in your immediate family to save collectively. I don't know how possible this could be, but if 10
It would.
people save 500 a
Yeah.
month, that's 60K a year. You could buy 3 starter homes every year. They must be talking about husband, wife, and kids.
Or siblings and stuff like that that really want to come together and do some shit.
Yeah, I know my siblings ain't trying to come together and do some shit like that. So good luck with all y'all that have that close, trusting relationship with the immediate members of your family. And so these are the things you need to do, kind of like build and promote financial literacy. Building capital, have that financial freedom, be educated, and kind of pass that on. You have generational wealth, and break curses
That
that you.
cycle. Yeah. There's things to be everyone does not want to be a homeowner, and I get that. You don't have to be. Everyone doesn't want to go to college, and I get that, and you don't have to. I get that. But we do have other people in our lives that we're responsible for, or a certain lifestyle that maybe we want to begin to have.
Right.
So, that's definitely something that we need to think about. The credit card debt. I know we need credits. I know we need, there's only one way to build up credit. You got to buy stuff. You got
Yep.
to spend. You got to do that. But you know what? Everyone goes through that phase where, they spend, but pay. Just
Exactly.
think about that. And always pay yourself first, meaning make sure your savings account, you have a savings account for retirement, a savings account for your FU fund, so to speak. Make sure all your bills are paid first.
Yep. Before we go and you go into your bit, I just wanted to, I found this video and I wanted to share it, and dedicated it to you and to all the women in my life who I love and care for, and
Hmm.
even the ones that I really don't.
Oh,
So I'm going to share this. You've probably seen it, but I just want to play it.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Sister. Girl, you've done it again. You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly. You do know that you're that girl, right?
I hope that when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, you see how divine you are.
Know that so many people want what you got. You have dreams to fulfill and promises to yourself that you must keep.
I know at times you feel underappreciated and misvalued. Trust me, we've all been there.
So it's necessary that you can count on yourself.
Now, don't go seeking perfection.
Extend yourself a little grace. Don't be afraid to celebrate the little wins as much as the big ones.
You, Miss Thing, are courageous. You are dynamic. You are principled.
So, baby girl, just remember, respect is a minimum. There's a sweet justice in knowing that the path you are on was designed for you and you alone. Doing right by yourself never goes out of style.
Everything about you is majestic and a force to be reckoned with.
Trust me, people are paying attention.
You're special and worthy of praise. Don't shy away from it.
And you don't have to get your groove back because guess what? You never lost it.
It's also important to rest. Make sure your hustle doesn't get in the way of your health. Girl, take care of yourself.
And the next time you want to second guess yourself, don't do it.
So pause for a second right now and relax, relate, release.
You are needed. You are appreciated.
Girl, you make me so proud. And I love you. Remember, you are 100% that queen. Oh, yes.
Oh, I never saw that before.
Holla.
I ain't saying shit after this.
No, you
Uh-uh.
no, you have.
Nope.
Oh no, we got Marissa's thoughts.
Oh,
You gotta do it.
God damn it.
Yep, yeah, yes.
Oh,
Marissa's musings.
Oh yeah, musings, not thoughts. Sorry.
music. All right. I only wrote a few lines, so buckle up. New year, new you? Well, I hope you like the old you. As I said before, change takes time, but inventory yourself. If you like it, focus on it. Don't focus so much on what you didn't like about yourself. And only focus on the positive, and let's work on that.
Holla.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. To you and you.
A little bit of you too.
Holla.
Well, homie,
Yes.
for 2021, where can they catch us?
Airware.
Or
Facebook, the Facebook, on Facebook on the Yep Yeah Yes podcast, Instagram and Twitter, Yep Yeah Yes 18. Everywhere you listen to your
just listen.
podcast, your speaker. I know y'all
Tell a
got
friend.
a speaker for Christmas. I know you got that Google. I know you got that Amazon. I know you got that whatever streaming device you have. And if you
Phone.
think that we are cute,
Oh, mm,
watch us on YouTube.
oh, hey.
Holler. And thank you
Hey.
to everybody that brought our numbers up like crazy last year. Hopefully we can double it and keep bringing you, content. We don't know. Half the time we just talk. We're just two friends talking, and this keeps our relationship going, especially during the pandemic. And Marissa, I love you.
I love you.
I hope this year gives you everything that you want and desire in life.
Same to you, my homie.
Holler.
I love you.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Whoops. Bye.
Bye.